Wildcard event in the blue. It's going to be OpTic Gaming, the green wall. In the orange, Dignitas, best of 7 winner, improves and advances in day 3. We'll see him. Let's go to the call in the Verizon Skybox.
NA and EU both coming into this undefeated in international matchups. But one of those O's is about to go. Dignitas taking on OpTic Gaming, Johnny, in a best of 7 to see who is going to have 3 chances to qualify for the main event.
It's huge. I think it's a must-win series for Dignitas, actually. I've seen OpTic show up on LAN just recently in London. I loved what I saw from them. Dignitas are really still a question mark. It's been a long time since we saw them on a LAN. Since LA, decent start for them, but missed. Will cut off the follow-up on the shot there from AppJack. Key here for Dignitas is really going to be about that man in the middle scrub there. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, what save from Illusion. It looked like he was going to have an easy job there. This crossbar's got them covered as well. Dignitas all over them early on. The boost is running out for OpTic.
And also the boost running out for Dignitas, forced to just scramble back for now. But at least a good showing there for Dignitas, knowing that they can put together those plays. OpTic actually a really good call late on in that play just to leave the ball. But this is not... Apparently, Jack walked the ball past OpTic.
Jack with the mind game on 2. It's actually Mist who makes the mistake there and leaves his team in a lot of trouble. He tried to catch the ball as it curves down off the back wall there. Completely missed it. But Drees and Illusion panicked in the aftermath. AppJack able to mind game both of them.
This could be really interesting form through switch that we see from Dignitas, because I feel like we come into these big events, international events, and Dignitas, despite having some good results, have not shown that potential that we knew that they had coming into this season.
Yeah.
But all of that gets wiped away. We're at the World Championships, you perform here, the rest of the season goes out the window.
And another messy defensive play there from OpTic. They're getting in each other's way a little bit here. Boost again running low, and Dignitas have got a lot to continue this attack with. They can just force the ball to bounce out in a volatile way, just as they've done now. That's the kind of play Dig want to do when they've got a boost advantage. Fortunately for OpTic, they were able to pick up a couple of back corners and survive that onslaught. But when you've got big boost advantage like that, any kind of volatile 50-50 favors the team with boost, because you're the team who can close the distance to the ball, get back to it, and continue attacking.
Scrub Killer tasked with finding a way out of the orange side of the field. He's done exactly that. He managed to lay claim to that middle boost. Gives his team a lot of territory to work with here. Jorius, good challenge. Going to drop down. The demo, crucial. Remove apparently Jack, get a bit of breathing room. The miss, however, from Illusion, maybe not quite as wise. Go off the backboard. Jorius tasked with getting rid of it instead. Leaves it for Scrub Killer. Does actually become a passing option on the far side. Might get over to it. And Scrub's attempted demo is going to miss its mark. But from Dignitas, it is nice to see that the ideas are flowing. It is not paint-by-numbers offense that they sometimes get caught in. They'll be very thankful to see that that ball was not going to drop into too much of a dangerous position.
Yeah, so far so good for Dignitas. They're not completely comfortable here though. OpTic starting to knock on the door a little bit. AppJack sticking around in the middle. Kept ball cam on so he can deflect the center ball to a safe location. Nobody able to contest Mist. Jory's got the back ball covered there. Maybe Mist had a better option on the left-hand side. Dignitas have survived that brief flurry from OpTic. Before then, we're not really synergizing at all. That's completely open now. Scrub going to follow up on it, but he can't get to it. Boost ran out. He didn't have the momentum, and he misses the ball.
Oh, we've all been there, and it hurts still every single time you see it happen. Scrub Killer tries to find a way past. It doesn't happen. Dream!
Wow.
I think he bumped Illusion into it. Either way, the important story is OpTic have got the goal back.
Scrub tried to kill some time here, wanted a 50-50 with Illusion, but Illusion took the ball off him and then ran it into the middle. Like you mentioned, bit of a team pull shot there. But Illusion definitely deserved the credit for that one. He did all the hard work, got an open net for his team. Dignitas unable to follow up on that stalled play there from Scrub Killer.
OpTic are finding the bumps somewhat well. There's post missed. Guides it back over to Illusion. The ball is Scrub Killer back into the middle again, and that is an easy win. Drees smashes it from the halfway line.
What a read by Drees. Look how quickly he gets out to intercept this one. That's a 50-50 into the middle, and Drees advances to cut off the Dignitas controlled pass. I mean, Digger trying to fire that ball into the center for their third man. OpTic able to read it, cuts off the threat, even get a goal on the counter-attack.
See the ball going over that way. There's always the inkling that the infield pass is possible. I do like that Drees recognized that, made sure that he was in position, and now actually does have the option to get over to Illusion. Heavy pass. Drees just holding on to that midfield, get his teammates back into a good spot, and miss!
Oh!
What a goal!
Dignitas forgot to pay attention to the miss, who just arcs around, comes off the sidewall, and spikes the ball downwards over the top of apparently Jack. Did not have anyone up to challenge. And if you're giving Mist a free shot from that range, you're asking for trouble.
That is the danger that you give up when you lose your back corner boost. Suddenly the cut rotation is a much more feasible option. And Mist proving exactly that. 1 minute left. Illusion realize that the play doesn't need to go in. They are the team with the 2-goal lead. As long as the play stays relatively calm, OpTic will take this first game. Drees. Scrub Killer. Can he get a second block? He's on 0 boost. Still didn't quite worry him on that play. And I'm loving this from OpTic. They are slowing the play down, but they make sure the ball is up in the air as often as possible, because that means that Dignitas can only commit one at a time. And when it ends up with these mid-air races, OpTic have been just a step ahead.
And it's games like this that really make you appreciate what Furia's Jan did. The last time we saw OpTic play on LAN in front of a crowd, it was Furia who took down OpTic in London to eliminate them from the top 8. And in that match, Furia's Jan 1v3'd OpTic numerous times offensively. Chorius unable to do that today. Abjack so far also unable to do that. Scrub not able to get anything really going in offense. They started the stronger of the two teams, but after OpTic stabilized, they really did run away with this one. 3-1, comfortable win for OpTic in the opener. Now the question is, can Dignitas regain? They've really struggled to get things together when things have gone wrong in LA. The most recent LAN that they played, they were reverse swept by Space Station Gaming, they were reverse swept by Evil Geniuses. They've got to really focus up here.
This is where Scrub Killer being in the middle becomes very interesting indeed, because when that player is in the middle, they're usually the ones that are supposed to be hyping everybody else up. When Scrub has a bad game, he's still got to be mentally strong enough to say, look, I didn't have a good one here, but we still all need to be able to step up to the next level.
Yeah.
In a game like this one, that is where that gets challenged.
Yeah, it's so important it's more important, I'd say, in the losses to have that hype man, to have that belief, because Dignitas have clearly lacked that all season. They've been struggling to bounce back when things go wrong. And it's this kind of moment now that they have to be telling each other, we've got this, we are good enough to beat this team, and actually show that they've finally found a way to bounce back from this kind of adversity. This is impressive form on the cheek curls here, I've got to say.
But it's full body bicep curls.
Yeah, Dignitas are going to be hoping they can bring that kind of strength into their 50-50 game, but OpTic, at the moment, looking like they're at the same level as Dig mechanically.
Yes.
And Dig definitely favor themselves mechanically here, so OpTic are hanging in there, they're matching them toe for toe, and that's a real problem. OpTic, I think, have got a great system, and if they can't outmatch them in speed and mechanics and solo plays, OpTic are going to be tough to beat as it comes down to team play.
Well, you did mention solo plays to end off there, and I think that was distinctly lacking actually from Dignitas. Once they went down, they tried to go just full pace mode, and that is not something that they really were able to match OpTic at all. I did see one attempt towards the end from Jorius to outplay the entire team. It didn't quite work, but it doesn't always work first time around. I'd love to see Dignitas just have a little bit of faith and belief that they can at least get the 1v2 going and get the numbers advantage. Jorius, crucial touch from him, takes it away from Illusion. But look at these cut rotations. That one doesn't quite work. I like the idea from Drees. Maybe the whole hitting the ball could do with a little bit of work in the future. There's Drees with a chance now. Almost 70 boost to his name. Illusion in the midfield. Even got more options further away as Illusion lays claim to it. Dignitas seem to be very aware, though, of at least one thing, which is never leave your backboard undefended against OpTic. That might leave options open for OpTic later on. As we see the crossbar rattled. Stay 0-0.
I don't think OpTic realized just how close that was to going in until it was right on top of their goal, but luckily for them, it bounced in the perfect direction into the ground and then over the bar. Scrub missed a key boost deal there. That means he's going to need to retreat. Jorius advances, has a reset to work with, but Mist does exactly what to do. It's a goal side approach. Strong 50-50 mid-air. That's going to need to be a bit quicker here. Another good 50-50 by Drees, and the follow-up is just off target. OpTic again, just like game number 1, looking for that long shot to counter a Dignitas advancing.
It's belief every time from OpTic. That one's off the backboard. Another bump, it's one-on-one. And there's Mist! Finishes it off. 1-0.
What a huge 50-50 win here from Illusion. Look how he controls, apparently, Jack's challenge. Yes, Jack is usually so good at those 1v1 50-50 plays. Illusion able to nullify everything that Jack's trying to do there, keep the ball in the danger area. OpTic scoring 4 goals in a row now between games 1 and 2.
What I wanted to make earlier on, Johnny, is that OpTic just believe in their defenders. They believe that, hey, you've got this. I'm going to sit in a good position off the ball so that when the ball does become loose, we get plays that we have been seeing where the clears are very easy and, heck, even sometimes on target for a goal. Dignitas don't have that at the moment. They don't have somebody that is willing to just trust the other two.
Yeah, infield is just not an option right now. A ton of infield passes that Dignitas have attempted. They've not just been intercepted by OpTic, but they look like passes to OpTic defenders. That's just an option that Dignitas need to, I think, gravitate away from. Maybe switch to higher approach. I know that they're all very capable air dribblers of the ball. Either that or backboard. But, you know, after what Jan did to them in London, you've got to think it's solo plays. That's the angle to work with against OpTic.
Just over 2 minutes left here in game number 2. Chance here, puts it behind the
Whoa!
keeper and missed! Scoops the ball and says that we will keep a 1-goal lead.
Dignitas still piling on the pressure though. Jack testing Dries, who passes with flying colors. And again, the ball's back into the middle. This time it's Illusion who gets the clear. A double tap into the floor to defend against Jarius. Dignitas still coming forward. They're looking for that equalizer. And they've got it! Scrub Killer ties the game.
And how important is that for Dignitas? So often at this wildcard, we have seen teams lose that second game and it just falls off from there. The comebacks have become less and less frequent as Rocket League has grown. So for Dignitas, they now need to convert this from here. And that was close for Mist.
Yeah, I like the idea there, but I think I've just read a ton of what Dignitas are doing with their offensive play. Dignitas need to try less tricks and just more consistency. Rely on their ability to get past OpTic. When it comes to OpTic, we haven't really seen too much of their offensive plan. It's been about counter-punching so far. Picking their opportunities quite well when Dignitas give them space to work with, but when it comes to making some of their own, we're yet to really see what their style is, what their game plan is.
It would be very interesting to see exactly how OpTic would play a game that they are 2 goals down in, but that is not a position they've been forced into just yet. They'll be able to Dignitas to force those questions to get answers. For now though, 1 minute remaining. All to play for here. Mist, I think, changed the direction second half of that aerial, decided to go for Jarius instead, just couldn't quite reach him. This is OpTic's best opportunity to try and create an opportunity of their own. Back midfield, Dries. Good challenge. It's going to come up to boost management here from both sides. It's going to be one aerial that will go unchallenged. Drop down pass for Mist. Well read by apparently Jack, gets in the way.
Illusion reading the Dignitas plan once again. Dig had a brief 2v1. They play for the immediate infield and clear. Illusion drop back to collect that. Again, another free possession play. Missed with the long-range air dribble. He goes high off the ceiling, tries to get back to it. He's not going to do so, but neither did Dignitas. Illusion into the middle for Dries, who goes backboard. Scrub Kill is first to that. There was no follow-up from OpTic.
Jarius leaves it down to apparently Jack. One final opportunity, maybe. There we go, Mist! We'll be unhappy to see Dignitas with 1 player left. Overtime over at Aquadome. And an overtime Dignitas desperately needs. But for OpTic, that green wall has been made of steel at times. Dries gets rid of it. Now, back into the midfield. Apparently Jack chooses to just try and follow up by himself. Another booming clear. Goes off the backboard, unchallenged. Will scrub go the whole way. Brave from OpTic, but this is the result that they were wanting.
Yeah, they do still get the ball clear, and another double connect. Mist read the whiff on the backboard. 2-0 OpTic Gaming. Illusion with a fake aerial. Gave Mist the free play on it. What a read by Mist. Just plays the ball all the way. He knows there's a decent chance anyone in the world can't miss that. And this time, Jack did not get the read. OpTic Gaming are absolutely roaring into a lead.
There are plenty of arguments about what Rule 1 might end up being, but one of the big rules about the RLCS, never let Mist see the double tap. He gets it 95% of the time. And another monstrous performance by him. OpTic Gaming, half the job done. And for Dignitas, it is now time to see, what did you do in that time off that you had? This is where the questions come into play. Was that time utilized wisely? And what have you got to bring this series back? It was a much better performance, I feel like, from Scrub Killer. But when you see what OpTic have done, they're just so calm defensively right now.
They are. They've been reading brilliantly. I think OpTic have just cut off a ton of infield passes already, and that's scared Dignitas away from that strategy. I think it's still wise for Dig to stop doing that. If every single infield pass is getting cut off, you definitely don't want to focus on that strategy. You got to go for more direct shots, more backboard plays, more slow plays, whether that's an air dribble or a dribble. And even when Dignitas did switch that up, I think OpTic have responded brilliantly. Anytime a Dignitas player gets up into the air to start an air dribble, someone is up and they're going straight for the ball. I think they, OpTic might have learned their lesson from Furia's Yan in London. You can't give these really mechanical players any time, and you can't give them any free hit on the ball. If you just fly right over the top of it looking for a dunk and they've just gone for a reset, you've put your teammates in a world of trouble. But OpTic not really doing that. They're just playing the ball, making it work, making it easy on their last man, and that's really been a theme of Wildcard so far. It's a simple defense. It's helping out your goalkeeper by playing the ball with your first challenge.
But if you are going to play the way OpTic have been, defensively, you have to keep a hold of that boost management, and I think that has been their main strength as we go off the backboard. Dignitas, unlike the overtime, not seeing that ball go in. But OpTic have just been so comfortable with their own boost management. They've been able to cut rotations whenever they feel like it, and those cut rotations, no double commits, no nothing. It just looks natural. So it's led to that foundational Rocket League looking so smooth off the backboard. Scrub Killer wants to find one more. Apparently, Jack actually manages to climb through the mountain of cars and give Dignitas the lead.
Phenomenal play by Scrub in the setup. Mist was trying to track him along the way there. Illusion likewise. Neither one of them able to read exactly where Scrub had planned to hit the ball. Jack was in the middle waiting for it. You see, Dignitas is just trying to wake up here, it seems. Trailing 2 games. They know they're not playing their best. OpTic really brought it to them. Dignitas have to elevate. So far, so good in game 3.
This is where we might also find some answers to previous questions about how OpTic might play from behind. Yes, they went behind quite early in the series, but that didn't really last too long. Can they do the same thing again? Secondly, have Dignitas found some answers to keeping this offense going? Jorius goes for the backboard. He'll be unchallenged.
Oh.
But this playstyle right now reminds me of when Dignitas got together, when it was just wave after wave of individual plays, and the other two would just hold the midfield. They'll wait for their turn. Dignitas have reverted back to that. Has missed, almost gets done. There's the follow from Jack, and the lead is doubled up.
So finally OpTic make a mistake, and it's Mist who just doesn't get the read right, tries to control the situation, but really he just walked into a pretty big wall that was Scrub Killer there. Jack getting another goal off the back of a Scrub Killer assist. Can Dignitas pulls it out? I mean, OpTic have been counterpunching a lot, so like we mentioned, what are they going to do from behind? Love to see their plan, because OpTic have shown levels. They've shown that they can adapt in London, making that lower bracket run into top 8. It's definitely a threat to just simply go 3-0 in Wildcard, like they've mentioned in their rematch interview. They're going to get one back here. Mist punches it in. Dignitas concede pretty quickly. That 2-goal lead didn't last long.
Dries just left the options open so long. And it meant that there was no response there from Dignitas. The response has been very loud there from OpTic. Get the goal back nice and early. Means that you don't have to overcommit both players going forward. You can get that one extra opportunity with 3 minutes left. But a very fascinating 3 minutes remaining here. Dignitas seem to have a new look to them when they get in the lead. I'm curious as to whether or not they will rely on the individual mechanics. Just send one at a time.
Oh, look
more like this.
Yeah, look at this from OpTic though. They're down by 1. but they're actually sitting behind the ball in their own corner. They want Dignitas here. They want Dignitas to advance into their corner and to join them in this position. That's just leaving more space in the midfield, more space in the Dignitas end. Really just shows you the preference OpTic have in this matchup and in a lot of matchups, which is to counter-attack. And now, that's coming to fruition. 2-2 from Alu.
Unreal. Look at the game knowledge from Dream. Just leave it. He knows he doesn't have the angle. Boost for it, convince Dignitas that you might, and leave it for the players that you've got behind you. Questions answered quite emphatically by OpTic.
It's such an interesting thing to see. The team sitting behind the ball with a 1-goal deficit. I mean, that's just how comfortable OpTic are. They know that Dignitas are going to come forward at some point. They know that Dignitas like to be an attacking team. They like to swarm. They like to steal boost away. Just attack continuously, but have they got them exactly where they want them? Is it, in fact, Dignitas who need to slow things down a little bit, play a more controlled style.
And as you mentioned, Johnny, OpTic are just drawing them in. Even from behind, Dignitas are getting drawn in. And as good as OpTic have played, that sentence shouldn't be happening. Dignitas need to be more aware of where they are in the game, manage the clock, force OpTic to make some moves, and maybe even get some goals like the ones OpTic have been scoring on you. Get them on the counterpunch. That would be stuff that needs to be communicated. Now, though, the job is as such. Do not put yourself in a position where you need to reverse sweep.
Oh, yeah. It just seems so impossible, especially with how many one-sided series we've seen, and especially with how much Dignitas have struggled recently.
I think after London, I've given up on any possibility of best first sweeps. Here we go with Jack. Gives himself some angles, gets a good challenge as well. Dries just buys some time, but Dignitas with nobody in position to latch onto the first shot.
Wow.
This just doesn't work. You cannot pass on the floor against OpTic. They always have somebody.
It's just another phenomenal read by Dries, cutting off the pass, and now getting on into the middle is just deflected wide. There's no doubt that OpTic's passing always looks a lot more dangerous. They look like they're threatening realistic chances on net anytime they connect to pass in the final third, whereas Dignitas, when they pass, it's OpTic who look threatening with the counter-attacks and the interceptions.
And for Dignitas, the only answer to that is one of two things. Either abandon or commit harder.
Okay.
Oh, Illusion! He's now going to take control of the ball. He's actually got to pass Scrub. He might go the entire way with this. Hook shot option. Goes infield. There's Mist, who is unable to win the race to the ball. Hero play, though, from Illusion. They might still get something from this. Jorius will see the ball away, and thankfully so. Off the backboard one more time. Double commit as well. If OpTic are going to get a chance, this could be the big one. There's somebody around. Yes, there is. It's Mist! Save! Overtime!
OpTic are all over Dignitas right now, so many times, so close to a third game in a row. Dignitas have made it into overtime. And once again, OpTic are straight into attack. This time, Jack's the one who missed the back ball read. Illusion gets it in. All it took was 12 seconds, and OpTic have done it again.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful by Dries. Set the expectations for Dignitas, and then changed it. Went for the flick, got it off the backboard, and Dignitas had no way. 3 games up. Dignitas just needs something, anything, because this looks stylistically like OpTic have got their number and then some.
Yeah, they are just dominating right now. I mean, defensively, OpTic looks so comfortable. They're not afraid of having Dignitas come right up into their corner, right up in their face. That just shows how much OpTic trust in their 50-50 game, even against a team of 1v1 legends that Dignitas are. When it comes to offense, I mean, OpTic are really a triple threat right now. I've got to, give a massive props to all 3 of them again, but I love what I'm seeing from Illusion. He does all the dirty work. It doesn't matter what team he's on. We saw him do this for FaZe in the Ball Major. We've seen him do it for OpTic now 2 lands in a row. He's just filling the blanks. If Mist is covering top left corner on a double tap, he's covering bottom left. It's not because he doesn't trust Mist to be able to make a touch. It's because everybody makes mistakes. Everybody misses sometimes. We do have timeout Dignitas. Well, that's expected. But what on earth are they going to do? The solo plays don't look like they're going to be good enough to completely obliterate OpTic the way that Jan did in London. I think OpTic have really leveled up their air dribble defense since then. And when it comes to interceptions, I mean, Dries has just been unreal.
So let's list the things that haven't worked. Solo plays, don't work. Infield passes, definitely don't go there. You're probably going to get scored on. What's left? I mean, even outpacing. I would look at this and say OpTic have been the quicker of the two teams. Heck, that might even be playing into OpTic, because if you try and outpace them, they're just going to draw you into their own side of the field and wait and catch you. I am happy, though, to hear about the timeout. It was quite late that we ended up hearing about that one, but I was thinking, like,
yeah,
so much going wrong here. You have to try something to try and change this.
This is the problem with Dignitas, is we've seen this before. We have seen this happen.
This has been the season.
They were 2-0 up against Space Station Gaming in LA, and they just lost one game, and every game since then looked different. There was just a different vibe about it, a different feel in the air. They've tried putting Scrub Killer in the middle here, but it just looks like more of the same. They don't have that energy. They don't have that air of a comeback about them, and they've really struggled to find any ability to do that, even with the new coach as well. It's just more of the same for this team. So, you know, they've tried changing a bunch of things. The problem has to be elsewhere.
So Dignitas need to put together the run of form of their careers if they're going to try and take down OpTic. As for OpTic, they look to start off the bragging rights for North America. Jorius, what a shot! If you're going to change this, you need a talisman to step up.
That is a huge, huge play from Jorius. What a redirect. It's actually so difficult to get power on these. Very easy to just slightly get the touch wrong and send it either into the post or just nowhere. Jorius nails it. 15 seconds in, Dig are in front again. You know, they've had their noses in front in 2 of the 3 games that we played so far. You know, getting in front has not really been an issue. It's about closing the deal.
Trees. And it was quite outpaced, but OpTic, as usual, recognized those situations very quickly. I do like that OpTic don't try and play to just win the ball. Sometimes they are very good at just saying, all right, we're not getting there first. I'm going to reposition my car to block instead.
Yeah.
As worked out. This should be 2. And put it right down the middle. Scrub Killer aim to put it on target rather than putting it in.
Yeah, from that range, accuracy is really everything. You just stick it in the corner. Or at least one of the corners. You're either going top corner anticipating a grounded goalkeeper or bottom corner anticipating a pre-jump, but right in the middle, not really catching out anyone. Not sure if he was expecting a wild and early pre-jump from OpTic. Seen too many today. Late reset from Illusion. Abjack's there to cut it off. Really expect to see and hope to see a more defensive structure from Dignitas. You know, they want to be dominating, they want to win games and attack, but you don't have to do that.
Well, we already know how unlikely the best of 7 reverse sweep is. At the most part, I think most Dignitas fans will be hoping for just more.
Yeah.
Something to go forward in the tournament and say, okay, that's our team still. They still can do this. And as I said over in London, get 2 games, maybe we start believing in you. For now, though, you just got to focus on it. There's Dries, top corner. The work was done. He just had to finish it.
And once again, OpTic are just simply more convincing. Jorius misses the overhead clear. Illusion puts the ball right next to the goal for Dries to follow up with a tight angle double. I mean, you've got mechanical defensive play versus mechanical offensive play. OpTic, by far and away, the team who are making these plays work compared to Dignitas today. And like you mentioned, Dignitas just need something here, even if a reverse sweep is not possible. Every game helps in Swiss. We've seen a bunch of teams getting swept so far this tournament. If they can just get 1 game, suddenly their win-loss differential is improved, and that helps you get easier matchups later on in the tournament, even tomorrow. Getting swept today would be a disaster, and that's where Dignitas are headed, unless they can fix things as soon as possible.
Look at the boost amount. Scrub Killer's the only one of anything. Jorius now finally joins him. Had to go all the way into the midfield just to find some sort of resource to use. Reset, Dries. Is he comfortable on the field, or is he not? OpTic, confidence oozing out of every play that they go for. Redirect attempted by Jorius, same way that he got the opening goal from Dignitas. Takes his time, realizes 12 boost, and, well, good news, Jorius, you're about to have a little bit more. Bad news, you have to respawn with it.
And once again, it's Illusion who drops the ball down in front of the goal. And Dries, the man to follow up. Illusion forever the enabler. Knows exactly where to touch that one, that it bounces right in front of the Dig net. Dig flat, tired, not for the first time this series, just stuck in the mud. unable to rush to the clear, and dunked on from close range. It is all going wrong for them today, but it's all going right for OpTic, who are about to go 4-0 again, 2 days in a row. They're going to be the top seed going into the next round of Swiss, which is huge.
And you would have looked at a series like this and said, surely not. Surely at least the game goes against them. But Dignitas have just not had anything for them. As for OpTic, it is a case of the perfect strategy working perfectly at the end of the day. Minute and a half here. Dignitas not going to get anything back with a shot like that one. Jarius tries for the infield. Unfortunately, the person he was trying to pass to was still on the same side of the field as him. He's looking to follow. I do like that though from Jack, opening up the field a little bit more. Does need to get a follow-up. This has been lacking now from Dignitas. Ever since they went the goal down in this game, it has been single touches and nothing much else beyond that.
Yeah, they have struggled with their follow-ups, and OpTic are showing them how it's done. I mean, every time an OpTic player is putting a challenge in, there's another one following. Every time an OpTic player makes a play in offense, there's another one immediately on the same page. The synergy has been just leagues above Dignitas today, in a matchup that we expected to be close and really should have been close. If Dignitas could just find any kind of form, and that has been their problem both online and on lands. It's going to look like a third scrub, just able to deflect it wide, but Dignitas are running out of time. They're going to get this into game number 5.
Jarius going to try and take the task on by himself. Up to Jack. OpTic, backboard well covered. As we head into the final 30 seconds of this game. Can Dignitas just get that one goal, lead that into one game? I like the idea.
Oh no.
Missed it.
You can see it on the face cam there. It's just all gone wrong. Scrub thinking he's going to get an opportunity. No such luck. The demo connects, and Dignitas just cannot figure out a way to get past OpTic. The green wall has absolutely been a solid wall today. They might add one more to their tally. Dignitas stuck in defense.
OpTic just want to see this ball to the floor. Jack has a bit of time. Good block there from Trees. And it is now up Dignitas, who have got players facing the wrong way right now. Have to go coast to coast. Not one more for Trees, but for those of you at home keeping score, it's NA1, EU 0.
And unbelievably comfortable as well from OpTic. They look like the real deal here. They're going to be top seed going into round 3 of the wildcard. 8-0 in games, just like Semper, but if I'm not mistaken, OpTic have got the initial seed advantage over them. So Semper going to be number 2 seed in this second round. Both teams get to lose a game.